Today I've got a visitor with me. He's come to talk about his side of the birth stories. Are you ready for some really difficult questions?
No.
Okay, what was the best bit about seeing me give birth?
I can't say there was a best bit throughout the process. I would say the best bit was maybe the relief on your face once you had actually given birth and seen happiness. But
Aww.
other than that, it was quite.
That wasn't the best bit.
It was quite an ordeal. So.
Okay.
All 3 times.
What was the worst bit?
Seeing you in pain and me not being able to do anything until the nice man put a needle in your lower back. Epidural.
Yeah. What about the third time though? Because I didn't have an epidural the third time.
It all happened so fast that we didn't have time to think. We got there, it happened within half an hour, so that was a blur. But the first 2 times it was...
So the worst bit was just watching me in pain then?
Yeah, but I'm being absolutely helpless.
How did you feel about me after seeing what I'd been through? Did you feel differently about me or...?
A bit more hero worship, I guess.
Aww.
No, just bigging you up there. No, I was just proud after what you'd gone through. There's no way I could go through something like that. Sitting there for like almost a day trying to squeeze a watermelon out. So,
How much would you have paid to take the pain away from me if you could?
nothing.
You wouldn't have done?
No.
You liked seeing me go through that?
No, I didn't like it, but I wouldn't do it.
No, but if you could have paid a certain amount of money and had my pain taken away, what would that have been? What would you have been willing
My
to
own
give?
money?
Yes, your own money.
Don't know, I haven't really got much. Tenner?
So, okay. So you wouldn't have done anything to take the pain away from me if you could?
If someone gave me the money, I would, but I wouldn't.
You wouldn't spend your own money?
No.
What a charmer! Did you shut your eyes at any point? I would know the answer to this one.
Not through squeamishness, but I was so knackered
You just
that I had
sleep.
a few power naps in between my munching mini eggs and Haribo.
You
Yeah.
did have a good nap when we were having Dylan, didn't you?
Yeah, that was good.
If you could give birth, would you have the next one?
No, 100% no.
Don't you think it's your turn?
No.
Charming.
No, I'd have a ruined belly button, weird hips, it'd all be mangled, no.
So you say that I'm mangled?
No, but that's, like, women just like that, it shows off battle scars, doesn't it? But no, not for me.
Honestly, if you had the choice to not be in the room, would you be there? Or would you choose not to be there if you could?
I had no... I'd say if you didn't come back with any jip.
No, that's what I mean. If you could,
Yeah.
if you could get away with it, would you choose
If
not
I
to be
could
there?
get away with it, I would be as far away as possible. I'd be at home playing on my Xbox, having a beer and just waiting for the call, I reckon.
Like old school.
Yeah. Yeah, why did we change that?
Well, because it's your fault that...
Because all we end up doing is faffing about, being useless, blowing up like gloves and being silly and not knowing what to do. Yeah, on the whole.
I guess so. Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, the whole point, I guess, is that you helped make the baby. You helped make that situation, so you should... But then you'd have also missed that first moment when your children were born. If you weren't there for the birth, you wouldn't have been there, like, their first breath in the world.
Yeah, but I'm only 20 minutes away from the hospital, so...
And how many
What's
breaths
20
could they have
minutes?
had by the time you'd got there?
Breath's a breath, that's not...
Oh, you're heartless. How did you feel during the labours and the births? How did that make you feel?
During, as in the
Yeah,
actual
like, while they-
going into
while-
labour and then being in the hospital?
Yeah, during that, how did it make you feel? Were you excited? Were you nervous? Were you
No, it was
helpless? Wait, what?
It was more nervousness and helplessness than the excitement doesn't really kick in until the baby's there, because you're apprehensive until it happens.
Okay.
You never know what's going to happen until
No, that's very true.
it's actually there.
And how did it make you feel to know that you had created a new life?
Sheer pride. It's quite cool. You know, three healthy
Quite
kids.
cool.
No, it is. Well, no, the thing is, I mean, we've been very lucky that it's not been a problem to conceive and have happy, healthy babies, as other people do.
Yeah.
You know, we've known people have had problems.
Yeah,
So.
we are very lucky. That's very true. What would you say was the first emotion, like the first feeling that went through you when Dylan was born?
Relief.
Relief. Relief that he was
Because
alright,
it
or
was
that he
such a long
was... Okay, what about...
ordeal from the moment we went to the birthing unit, got
Yeah.
transferred, and he actually arrived. I didn't know what planet I was on, you didn't, it was
You just relieved.
just completely...
What about Evelyn? Was it different? The first feeling you felt when she arrived?
Similar feeling, maybe not as much, it was a slightly quicker process, but again it's more relief because you're so nervous about the whole process until she's out, you just think the worst all the whole time.
Do you?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking, have they got, 4 fingers or 5 fingers, you're not too sure what they're going to look like.
Yeah. And what about Ashlyn?
I was quite emotional with Ashley.
Yeah,
I think we both were. I'm not an emotional kind of person. I'm not heartless, but I'm not. But when she came out, I felt choked.
Yes, I don't know, because I felt the same. I don't know why with her. It was
Maybe because I had no time to think about anything, and it all happened within sort of 30
quite intense,
minutes.
wasn't it, with her? I do, as much as the other two were longer, I felt like they were sort of more calm and controlled, whereas the last, like with Ashley, I felt like it was all happened so quick. It was just a bit more intense, like emotionally and stuff. I think.
Yeah, maybe it was the speed of it that enhanced the emotion. I don't know.
How did you feel when you held them for the first time?
Just proud. I was just proud. It was a nice feeling that I'd sort of partly made them.
Was it different with the three of them?
Well, I made them for a few seconds. You made them.
Would you say that you felt different when you held the 3 babies? Did it feel different, or
it was
the
different
same feeling?
between the girls and boys. So with Dylan, it was like he's my little mate sort of thing. It was quite cool. When the girls came along, it was sort of that sort of daddy protecting the little girl thing sort of naturally kicked in. I don't know why, it just did.
You did make a comment not long after Evelyn was born about the fact you were going to have to buy a gun.
Yeah, maybe like a line of swords across the fireplace to any prospective boyfriend.
She's never going to be allowed boyfriends. Would you say, before we had Dylan, that you felt that overwhelmed by the responsibility, or were you kind of up for the challenge?
No, just got on with it. I've not... I can't
about
say I've not shirked responsibility. It never crossed my mind. It was just, it sounds bad. It's like I've got myself into this, even though it was planned. I've just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you could change one thing about the births, what would it be?
Time.
Time.
I'd like it if you could just sort of,
Be in and out.
Yeah, almost. If they devised a way of knowing exactly the moment you're, whatever it is, X amount of centimetres dilated, and then they go, right, you come in, pop it out.
You'd quite like to book in a slot, wouldn't you? Like, we're going to have the baby.
Just think how efficient the NHS would be if they could do that.
Well, the only way you do that is if everybody had C-sections.
Or maybe if they sort of put like some netting over just to stop it. Or I don't know, just something. I don't know. Just
netting.
I don't know, like a parachute. Just I don't know. I'm not too sure. Just something that. I mean, it's just you hear all these mooing noises of women like in the labour ward for like.
Did I moo?
Yeah, you all moo. You make this horrible ooh noise, and it's like.
Because it's really, really painful.
Yeah, but why don't we just drug you up for a bit? Try and make sure the baby doesn't get any of those drugs, and then just sort of get everything done with.
With our 3, like with Dylan and Evelyn, I had obviously an epidural, and with Ashley I didn't. Well, we've just both said that we found her birth much more emotional, and that was one without any drugs.
Yeah, but I think we had no time to think or react about anything. I mean, yeah, that was...
Which birth would you say was your favourite?
Ashlyn's by a mile.
Why? Just because it was quick?
Yeah. I didn't load myself up with tons of junk food and get myself into a sort of junk food coma and sleep and just not know what to do with myself.
Okay. And last off, what would be your top tips for a new dad who maybe his other half is about to have their first baby? What would be your tips going into labour that you think he needs to know?
Try and be as helpful as you can. Don't be useless, because I've been guilty of being useless at birth. Just sitting there in a chair trying to get comfortable.
You know what to do, did you?
No, I didn't know what to do. Make sure you pack loads of snacks. Good percentage of sweet and savoury.
Okay.
Plenty of bottled water, because usually you've got to walk miles to some sort of crappy little water dispenser in a hospital. Just be useful.
Car park money?
Yeah, car park money, because not many of them are sort of with the times, and you can text or pay by phone or whatever it might be, or you can't even pay by card. So make sure you got lots of pound coins and 50p's just ready in your car. Not much else really. Quite straightforward. Just be there.
Just be there.
Yeah.
That sounds like a very good tip to me.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering my questions.
No problem.
I'll let him go now because I think he's had enough.
Yeah, I'm bored.
Thanks for watching.